Good morning, everyone. I will apologize. My throat is a little sore this morning, so if I sound a little wispy or like I'm talking very strange, it's because it just kind of hurt. Along, we will go and we will do the periscope this morning. It's kind of how I feel like I'm talking. So, good morning, everyone. Today, we're gonna, number one, let's talk about a few announcements we have. So I haven't publicized it yet, but last night we had some trademark blog post go live on the blog. I was swamped with a paper and a final and prepping for the OA X-ray course that launches today, so I couldn't get around to writing my blog post, so hopefully I can get to that today. But the trademark for your private label brand by Susie Hickson is live, which is a great read. I actually read it, loved it. So highly recommend you guys take a look at that today. If you guys are list purchasers, Gumroad has, I think we have 9 lists live on Gumroad right now. 2 for the $5 mark. We have a replin list for Walmart that is available, and I'm going to bump the price up on that when I get to work by about quite a bit. So if you are interested in any of those, I would head over to gumroad.com/FBAM and go find which list you want. I'm also in the final testing stages of an extension for Gumroad, or for your Chrome browser, that'll actually notify you when a new list goes live in Gumroad, so that you can see them, click on them, and actually get directed straight to the Gumroad page. So it's one that I'm working on. It's about 2/3 of the way done, and just need to do some further testing with it. It's up right now. Walmart Replin is live right now. Go over. I think it's 11 items for $16. I think is what we have the list up. So that's the announcements I have. I hope to get back in the swing of things with content, videos, and podcasts soon. I've been off on. We've been off on vacation and conferences, and I'm going on another trip this weekend, so it's been a little insane. We're getting caught back up, so as soon as that does happen, you guys will start seeing that stuff more regularly produced. So what we want to talk about today in the topic land, and this won't be a super long discussion, but it's something that I was practicing with a few. I actually did a little private session when I was at the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference. Everybody was in the major, they were in the panel. So there's this panel that was of private label sellers. It's hosted by Jeff Cohen, had Andy Slammons, the Irish brothers in it, and it was built around asking private label questions. Well, at the point when I was exhausted. I had kind of some altitude sickness, so I decided not to go over there. So what I ended up doing was sat in the hotel lobby bar and said, hey, anybody who wants to come over right now, we'll do like an hour-long idea session for private label items. Because what was happening was the actual session with the panelists was way above the knowledge level of someone who couldn't even find an idea to find their first product. And yeah, there's some great things to learn from the panel, and I'm planning on watching the replay of it. But honestly, it was, for half the people there, a little over their head. So we decided to do the panel, I decided to do the little session. We had Samuel, a nice German lady, Tyler, and Brian joined me in this panel. And what we did was we sat there and broke down. We started with a general category of where they wanted to sell out. Julia, is that? I don't know. I'm just so confused. Sorry. Anyway, so what we ended up doing was started with a broad category. Yeah, there we go. Good. I couldn't remember the name. I knew it was something. Anyway, so what we did is start with a really broad topic. So instead of saying I want to sell this, we said, okay, we want to sell in the sports and outdoor category, or the pet category, or the toy category, or the health and beauty category. We started off with this really broad stroke to get into a category description of what we were looking at. And once we got there, then it was probing time. So it was time to start asking, okay, well, what do you know really well in this category? Is there anything that you have, that you've seen in this category that you may have an interest in selling? Is there anything that you have a deeper knowledge than anybody else? For instance, let's go into, okay, let's say we're doing computer accessories. This is not a great idea. I'm just throwing it out there as an example. Okay, so I say I want to do computer accessories. Well, that's fine and dandy. Now the next part is, so what do I know better than anything when it comes to computer accessories? Well, I use my Mac all the time. So okay, well there's a little flashing light that we need to dive down into. Well, there's a niche. Okay, so Mac computer products. So then it's okay, so what do I need for my Mac, or what do I currently use for my Mac? Well, I carry it around. I have my charger with me. I have that little thing that converts my charger. I use a wireless mouse sometimes. And then, yeah, so you start thinking about that. You go, okay, well, so we've narrowed down Mac accessories. Now let's pick a peripheral that we're going to focus on. So maybe I want to do a wireless mouse. Why? Because I have found that I use my wireless mouse anywhere, everywhere, and it'd be nice to have my own version of this. So now that's just the ideation portion from your end. So then what we need to take is we need to go into, and the way we were doing it in this little session, was go into Google AdWords Keyword Planner and do some initial looks to see how much it's searched on the actual Google search engine. So I type in Mac accessories, Mac computer accessories, see what my search totals were. And since I haven't actually done this particular example, I can't tell you what those were. But my guess is they turn up probably 10 to 20,000 searches a month. No idea though. So now that I have a validation that the idea holds some merit, that there are actually people looking for this, okay, then it goes into, I want to take that and put it into the keyword planner again, but to start brainstorming ideas for keywords also for products. So Mac and computer accessories, I can search that and it's going to start populating in other items that I should consider that people are searching. That's why we use the outside service of Google that's for free, because yes, it's great to look at what Amazon is selling, but sometimes there may not be a need in a market, or there may be a need in a market and we need to cross over and provide that. So if we find that 50,000 people are talking about Mac accessories, then there's only like 5 Mac accessories on Amazon, which I know there's not. This is just an example. We need to be able to go, okay, well maybe we can connect the dots here. So we look there and we start getting lists of keywords. And the keywords don't really provide us much of anything, but they give us a start for when we're going to go over to our actual Amazon search engine that we're using. I used AMZ Shark. We had a free trial of that, or we have a free account for that because we're an affiliate. I haven't played with Jungle Scout before. I haven't played with any of Amazon, whatever there's out there. I've never played with them. Only the AMZ Shark, because that's the one I actually had a demo on. So told them they didn't have to actually use that, but so we started placing like the Mac accessories into the keyword, or the niche scout. So it would go in and it would start pulling up what items came up at that point, estimated sales, number of reviews, number of sellers. And what we started to do was we started to sort the list, and we tried to look for products in the range of $30 to $50. that were at the current selling price. There are a lot of cheapo items, a lot of cheapo ones. And $20 wasn't that high, but we were trying to keep it between the 20 to 50 range. So we sorted by price and we started giving it a look. And what we were looking for were items that had low number of sellers, decent sales. I mean, we're not, when you're launching a private label product, and like I said, I've never done that before. I know the general concepts, I'm able to understand that stuff, but I have never launched one. Probably because I'm partly lazy. But nonetheless, I understand how to use the tools to find the items. So for Samuel, for instance, we dove into a specific niche and actually found him like 4 or 5 possibilities to start looking for a manufacturer of those. And they were freaking weird. It started off at a wide pet product range and ended up with a specific pet and a specific item for that. I mean, it was kind of weird. Same thing with Julia. It was really broad and then specific. And what happened with her was she had already done a lot of research with it, but she had never actually used a niche scout tool or anything that brought in the actual data from Amazon, which was kind of interesting because her idea, I've all said and done with it, absolutely brilliant idea. The best of the night, hands down, for that. I was like, holy shit, people buy that? Because I had no idea that they actually would. I mean, it was like, huh? So she was spot on with her previous assumptions, but as soon as we were actually able to validate it with the data, she was like, oh, yes, this is what I'm gonna do. She had a little accent, but so that was one that we got into. And then with Brian, it was an interesting breakdown. We started broad with sports and outdoors and started diving into a specific sport. And then started thinking about the items used in a sport. And then we started going, okay, well, is there any money to be made out of this? And what we ended up determining overall from our analysis was there could be a possibility for a private label product in the line that we were looking at, but we found a huge need for bundling and different assortments of certain items within this. We would have thought that we were going to find, oh, this is going to be a great private label item, but what we ended up finding, sorry to yawn, was that there was a lack of, there was only like 2 providers for a certain or 1 provider for a certain bundle. And it was a very large bundle, something that I'm not sure most people looking online. The price point was rather high, and they were selling like almost 200 of them a month, based upon the sales estimates, which turned into, if Brian could take 60 of those sales a month to start and build that up and really turn it into a sustainable profit, actually pretty much a no-brainer, and he wouldn't even have to go look for a manufacturer on that end. And then we messed with Tyler Nelson. Oh, my buddy Tyler. I'm guessing every single one of you would know exactly which area he went into if you follow him online. So we started doing some brainstorming, and the thing was that, and it was interesting with Tyler because Tyler is a very intelligent guy. But we were having some difficulties when we were having these discussions. And the reason we were having these difficulties was, I think that the concept that a lot of people have for a private label product is they've got to come up with an invention. They've got to come up with their own product that was like, oh, it has this, and it has this, and it has this, and it has this. And typically the ideology behind finding a product is usually finding something that is already out there, finding it from a manufacturer and releasing it, and or finding out how to improve a product and moving it moving it forward. So Tyler, everybody knows he's a video game guy, started brainstorming with a pretty hefty bundle at first. I was like, whoa, that's going to be pricey. And I mean, the argument made sense. I fully agree with his argument of this would be a convenience factor buy. Yeah, I agree. But then we started getting into it a little deeper and started looking, okay, well, how can we take this idea and turn it into something that you don't have to spend $40 on? And it may not have been $40 exactly, but how do we take it and make it something that you don't have to spend $40 on to put together, and find something that may be in the $3 to $5 production range? So we started drilling down a little farther, and he's like, oh wait, we can do this. And then we started doing some of the analysis on that, and it was actually a really good idea. So he was starting too specific before allowing the process of starting broad, narrowing it down, doing the research, seeing what's out there, and then seeing how to do that. Now, oh, Brian's here. Brian, I have not given away your bundles that we talked about. Okay, good morning, good morning. But I was using you as an example of how we took you from an idea of looking for a private label opportunity and turned it into, oh, well, crap, there could be a bundle line here that may be able to be turned into this, that, and another. So I was using you as an example. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, one other thing that with this ideation as we go through it is, as you break it down, document each step of the way, because once you do this once or twice, you're going to start seeing that the pattern is actually very easy, and you can actually take everyday items that you're sitting around looking at, or anything that you need, or a topic, or this or that, and start doing this, and you can actually produce a wide array of private label ideas just by like walking into a store, walking and talking with somebody at work. I mean, I'm looking here right now. I'm in my car at a stoplight. Someone could take, and this would be a really good idea, I know they actually sell, there's a private label line of license plate frames that may be out there. I don't know how much they sell. I don't know which topic they have. I know you can get sports, you can get hobbies, all of that. But I know from my Ball State store that we actually sell quite a few of the license plate frames that are Ball State alumni. Don't touch those, because if we do, I will find you, and it'll be war, because that's my job. I don't actually sell them as personal. I sell them from the university, and all money goes to scholarships. So you're robbing scholarships if you do that. But anyway, license plate frames, you can start looking at those from a high level of going, okay, well, car accessories. We know it's in an automotive category. Let's break it down to car accessories. Okay, well, seeing in car accessories, what do we have? We have stuff for cup holders. We have stuff for dashboards. We have air fresheners. We have, I mean, if you can, here's a fantastic effing idea. Someone do this, you'll be great. These guys, garage door openers, do you guys know how much they cost? I think this piece of shit that I have here that works is like $25. And all it is plastic with a transmitter. You can't tell me that you couldn't find one of these abroad, or on Alibaba, or even with a local producer that is like at the $4 or $5 range. I don't know, but it would seem like this would be a technology that isn't that complex. You press a button. So if that's the case, you don't have to own the market. You just have to be a player in it. Programming is the hard part, I realize it. But these clickers aren't hard. Because literally 95% of the garage door openers now have the Smart Learn button. And you just kind of, I don't know, something of that nature. Okay, well then make something even better. How do you make it so you don't have to program the clicker? Maybe you program the damn piece that goes like into the plug-in. Maybe you have it generate a signal there, and you're just talking with a clicker to that. Maybe you make it a smart garage door opener, which has location sensors. I don't know. You can brainstorm all day long, but that damn clicker cost me a lot, and I had to buy it because I wanted it in my garage. Now, looking around my car, there's a lot of things I may want or may need, or I may just kind of think it's kind of cool, like AutoCAD. AutoCAD doesn't cost anything to produce, and they sell them for like $10. So how do you make that even better? Well, okay, I like things in my car. How do you go about that a little bit different? I know the majority of you are going to go, oh, I don't want to produce cigarette lighter, phone chargers. Well, then don't. That is just one of the billion things in this car. I mean, we have a half of a baby seat in the back seat. We don't even have a kid. You know what my wife bought? One of those mirrors that go on the headrest, so you can actually see the child while you drive, because she babysits him, which is a brilliant idea, but I don't even want to ask her how much she paid for that. Don't really want to do it. There's probably some opportunity for organization. Well, that would be awesome. There's probably some availability for some organization in the trunk. Okay, because people use their trunks and sometimes it's hard. What if you had where you could organize for, what if you took the idea, let's break this down a little further. What if you took the idea of a retail arbitrage organizer for the back of your car? I don't know what it would look like. I don't know what it would exactly do, but we all know that we as our retail arbitrage people tend to have trouble with space. We tend to buy too much and then not have room for it. So if we were able to find a way to have room for it, wouldn't that be an interesting call? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. This is all just brainstorming ideas, but there you guys go. I'm at work. See ya. Peace.